In this video, I'm going to talk about 3 big mistakes that I frequently see in the introduction section of a scientific journal article. Hey guys, this is Brian from Grants and Publications YouTube channel. The introduction section of your scientific journal article is arguably the most important section in the entire paper. I think it's the most important section in terms of setting up your arguments, letting the reader know what to expect, keeping the reader going through the rest of the paper, and making a cohesive scientific journal article. So I feel like it's really important that the introduction is set up properly, that it has a logical sequence that flows in a way that the reader can follow and know what to expect. That's coming later in the paper. So let's get into the 3 mistakes. Mistake number 1 that I see frequently, and I see this a lot, is that the introduction section, instead of giving the background to lead up to the research question, it's a literature review. What do I mean by a literature review? You might be saying, isn't that what I'm supposed to do in the introduction section? So what's going to happen if you're writing this literature review or a miniature review article, instead of writing a background that funnels down to the knowledge gaps, is that the readers are going to see, they're not going to know where you're going. They're not going to understand what the purpose of you telling them all this information is. And so they're going to be seeing too many knowledge gaps, or they'll just be confused, like, I have no idea where these authors are going with this, this knowledge that they're telling me. So let's go ahead and look at point number 2, mistake number 2 that I see frequently. And that is related to this first one. And it's where the authors do not state a knowledge gap, or they don't state it clearly in a way that is signposted and is clear to the readers. Now, the whole point of showing this background information that you're showing in the first 1, 2, or 3 paragraphs is so that you can point out what is not known, or what the knowledge gaps in your field are that you're going to address in this specific study. So make sure that you state those knowledge gaps very clearly. In fact, what I recommend that you do is to start with the knowledge gap and then work backwards to the first paragraph. So ask yourself, with this knowledge gap in mind, what background information do I need to tell the readers to funnel down to that knowledge gap so that it's very clear and logical and the readers really understand where I'm coming from. Okay, so use signal words, signposts such as, however, it is not known that. So before I get to mistake number 3, I would just like to request that if you're getting value from this video, please hit the thumbs up button, smash that like button. And if you'd like to see more videos about scientific writing and scientific writing tips for grants and publications, consider subscribing to the channel. And if you have any questions or topics you would like me to discuss, you can leave those in the comments below. Now, mistake number 3 that I see frequently in the introduction section is that the research question is not stated, or it's not stated clearly. It's obscured, in other words. So maybe the research question is, indirectly stated, and you're asking your readers to infer something that you are implying. And that can be difficult for your readers to do. So I would like to see a very clear research question. So when I say research question, it doesn't have to be an actual question type of sentence. It doesn't have to end with a question mark. It can be a hypothesis statement, it can be a purpose statement. Depends on the kind of research that you're doing. But you want to make sure that you clearly state what the research question is And then it's nice if you follow that up by listing the specific objectives that you'll be doing to answer that research question. So if you put all of these 3 tips together, don't give a literature review, give background. Clearly state the knowledge gaps that your background funnels to, and clearly state the research question that is going to fill those knowledge gaps when you develop this new knowledge. It's going to help you write a really nice introduction. And if you have a really solid, logical introduction set up, that's going to help you write the rest of the paper, because it's going to be your roadmap for writing the rest of the paper. Okay, I hope these tips were helpful to you. I'll see you next time, and happy writing.